you have any update on Nelson Lamet, how he came out of his bullpen yesterday?
Yeah, it felt really good. We're excited where he's at, and I think we're looking to pencil in a day here in the next day or so what day he'll take the ball here soon for us. So we're excited. It's getting close.
Got it. So the plan is for him to pitch sometime here during the Dodger series, most likely?
Yeah, I think you'll see him before the All-Star break. We'll nail down the day here shortly. We have an idea, but we'll just make sure everything feels right with everybody involved.
Matt Strom, what do you want to see out of him? What's the improvement that he's made the last couple of outings, or what do you want to see more of this outing?
We like Matt on the attack. We've said that a few times, and there's a lot of really good things that came out of Baltimore for him, and still think there's more in him. He started off the year really well as a starter, mixing all 4 pitches. That's still part of who he is. Just continue to attack aggressively.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis Jr. yesterday, he throws the ball across the infield at 94 miles an hour. What does he need to fine-tune on the throwing side, if anything, at this point? I mean, he just continues to amaze everybody with what he shows with his physicality.
Yeah, he's got really impressive arm strength. There's no doubt about that. I think as he continues to play at this level, he'll learn when he needs it and when he doesn't need it, and he'll continue to throttle a little bit better, make sure he's healthy for a long time, because that's important. When you play 162 games, when you run out there consistently, throwing across the infield at 94 a lot of times is probably not your best shot at being really healthy. But he's got it there when he needs it, and he reached back for it yesterday and clearly has it. And I think he's just going to continue to improve as a defender. He's a smart guy. He works hard, and he's just going to keep getting better and better out there.
What kind of things can he do in terms of receiving the ball or using his body differently that he doesn't need to rely on the big cannon as much?
I think he's, when he stays compact and plays through the baseball well, he's as good as anybody at shortstop. He's loose-limbed, lanky, athletic, free-flowing, and sometimes that's tough to keep that type of frame compact. When he stays compact, you can see it out there when he makes routine plays. He's really good in those moments.
And seeing that cannon, a couple of them low, we've talked about Eric Hosmer and his defense before, but how important is it to have somebody on the other side of the ball that can handle those types of throws?
Yeah, Haas can pick it. We've seen that out of Haas the last couple of years. We knew that when we acquired him. He does that incredibly well, and it's a nice pick on the other side yesterday. And he's got 2 really strong arms on the left side of the infield on most days, and he can pick them up if they ever lay it in the dirt.
Hunter Renfroe got a chance to play some center field yesterday. We've just continued to see his defense improve. Obviously, he's put a lot of work into it, but is there any one thing? Has it been the jumps? Has it been the routes? What's been the biggest difference in his improvement?
He came into this year and wanted to be great in the outfield and put a lot of work into it with Skip, and I think all that work's showing. He's looked good wherever we've stuck him and made 2 nice plays out there yesterday in center, and it gives us an opportunity to get 3 bats in the lineup today with Manny out of the lineup. You're looking to get as much offense in there as we can, and we'll see how this package plays.
Were you surprised at all by the league's decision to uphold the suspension?
Those things are rarely ever overturned. It's just kind of the precedent they have set there. They're rarely overturned, and believed in Manny's case, and Manny had the opportunity to plead his case, and it didn't help our cause. So we're going to miss him for a night, but he'll be right back with us.
Had you been considering Hunter in center field before he ran down those balls yesterday?
I think just set of circumstances, the way this has played out. We've talked a few weeks ago about the concept. We asked people upstairs to kind of run numbers for us to give us an idea what the big boy package in the outfield would look like if we ran that at some point in time, and it makes sense for us today. It's not a marriage to this concept in the future, but you don't know how something plays until you stick it out there and have the courage to look at it. And we know those 3 guys can hit, and we're looking forward to having their offense in the lineup today. And if later on in the game we got to unwind the defense, we'll figure out a way to do that as we always have.
Andy, getting back to Manny's suspension, do you feel it was more for the contact with the umpire or for the throwing of the bat?
I have no idea. They made their judgment. What criteria they used, I really don't know, and that was their decision.
So Renfroe's scouting report when he played in center field in the minors, did that open any things for you?
Oh, obviously aware that he did it about 40, 50 games in the minor leagues, and we came into spring a couple years ago wanting to look at him in that situation, and he wasn't playing the type of defense he is now, and it just didn't make sense at that point in time to stick him out there. He's played really well defensively, and if this gives us some flexibility, we'll take advantage of that.
Was the plan for him to start today or to that, or did his performance yesterday?
We just like pretty much everything else in baseball, you get to look at something, and you've been talking about it for a while, and the eye test didn't look bad yesterday. It looked more than passable. That was a really nice route on that ball in deep right center, and nobody's saying he's Manny Machado out in center field, but we'll take a look at this with some belief that those guys out there can get it done today and get some runs on the board.
Andy, there was a lot of expectations coming into the season, signing Manny and Fernando, making the roster. Now that you're this close to the All-Star break, do you feel that the team is where they should be at, below, above? And where do you feel the team's at in that sense?
I don't think you'll find any manager that's going to be like 100% thrilled with where their club is at any point in time in the season. I think there's been resilience, there's been fight, there's been some streaks that we should have stopped sooner, that we believe we're a better baseball team then. And there's an ebb and flow to the baseball season. All you can do is remain resilient and stay in the fight. And I think our guys have done that. We're in the thick of a race right now, and it'll be up to us to take some positive steps in these last 6 games before the break, and then right after the break to do that as well.
Can you guys feel the excitement from those outside fans that you guys are in the thick of a race for the first time in a very long time, and just the buzz around town about this team?
Yeah, we love our fans. We felt it here. I think Saturday night was as live as this park's been since I've been here. You could feel it in the crowd, and guys put on a really good show that night and swung the bats really well. We pitched really well. I think that's, one of the atmospheres we'd like to see for years to come here, and we believe we can create here with the type of players we have. So we definitely know there's buzz. We're excited about that ourselves, and we'll look to create more of it.
Here's all the home runs that are being hit now. Are teams, by design, becoming more reliant on the long ball, or is it just sort of happening whether they want to do it or not?
Guys like home runs.
Right.
Managers like home runs. There's a reliance on them. When you can manufacture the way Tatis does at the top of the order, that's powerful because you can't always hit home runs every single day. We clearly have relied on it a lot the last few years, but the less reliant we can be on it, the better club will be. And still going to welcome them every time we hit them. I just think the trend in baseball, the way things are going, is we're just going to see more and more of them for the time being.
Yeah, and being as cyclical as the game is, when it changes again, it becomes a time for guys to be able to do some of the other things. Are guys not going to know how to do it a certain generation, or are they going to have to be retaught?
There's certain players that it's just not in their skill set, and I think we've become more accommodating in baseball in general, not just the Padres, but you got a big boy that can hit 30 to 40 home runs out of the park every year. You're not asking for him to hit behind the runner at second base, so you're not as focused on him getting a bunt down at any point in time, or even honestly driving a runner in from third base. You just have the big boy slug, and it's been enough. The more complete they can be, the better off the club will be.
Do you think that's part of the reason why Fernando's so successful on the bases, because he is so different from kind of the way the modern player is now, and he takes the chances when maybe in the past those chances might have been taken a little bit more than they are now?
Yeah, he's got a special skill set, and he is a little bit of a throwback. You go back to the 80s and watch baseball, and you watch guys darting around the bases, taking chances all the time. And that started to fade away in the 90s when the steroid era came in, and it's never really come back into vogue outside of a couple of guys within the game. Billy Hamilton comes to mind right away. Hasn't been on base historically as much as Fernando has been in his short big league career. So when you get a guy that's getting on base at a 400 clip, that's dynamic and game changing, that's a lot of opportunities to change the game on the bases. So I think you just get to look at him all the time right now, and I'd be thrilled with looking at him on a 500% basis on base percentage.
Anything to get you to wish everybody happy 4th of July?
Nope.
Never mind. How about a happy 5th of July?
Nope, we're not there yet.
All right.